Alright, so starting with race 1 for the 2015 season, the idea here is to go through the 2015 schedule. The idea here is to go through the 2015 schedule, run all the races, and then probably just have like a full season or a kind of 2012 style chase format, whichever one kind of makes more sense. I'm kind of leaning towards just full season so that there's less stuff to go through with the different programs and stuff that you got to use in order to do championship that way. Let me actually check something here, because there is a way that, well, first of all, I would have to go through here. We're going to be racing as Brian Vickers, so kind of just a team. They called it the Aaron's Dream Machine for Michael Waltrip Racing, and this was around that time where they were up there with mostly Brian Vickers and Mark Martin. Michael Waltrip would run some of the play track races, and it really was an interesting setup to where obviously it was a bunch of part-time drivers, so it wasn't like any of those drivers were contending for anything significant, but individually, like they were, as a car, they were really more so trying to do stuff with the honors points and all of that. So they contended for some wins. Most notably, you had Mark Martin at Pocono finishing second in 2012, and then I forget which year Brian Vickers won the New Hampshire race. So that's some good stuff there. And the idea with this, I want to make sure that we don't have any duplicates, because in this game you're kind of dealing with a system where it tracks the cars in the point standings by the actual car file and not just something else. So these are going to be settings used for the season. I haven't used season mode in this game for a while. I don't think I can do that. Yeah, just a simple fact that season mode in here kind of sucks compared to just running the individual races and tracking the results in the program like Score4, or even there's online tools for that. So kind of I don't know. So we've got those settings in there. Full damage, of course. I gotta go through this whole thing to make sure everything's looking good. So 2015 Sprint Cup schedule. Simulation physics. This is not a quick race. We're going to have 20 minutes of practice just to get the car dialed in and stuff. We're going to be running the 2015 roster. 100% difficulty. We're not going to punk out on this one. Pace laps, yellow flags, damage levels should be realistic. I don't know if I changed that or not. Weather is realistic. And we're going to be using a program called Better Caution, so we get lap cars will be dropped to the rear of the field. There will be new style double file restarts as far as, just alternating inside outside. So no choose roll, but it's still better. And then the field will be frozen at the time of caution, which is a really good improvement to have. So going to the track here, and we're going to run some practice laps, get the car dialed in. Probably going to take a qualifying run first, and then get into race trim and get into a drafting pack and all that. So Looking at our qualifying setup, there are some things that were. I have made some runs before this to kind of work on things, so we should be looking pretty good. Gonna throw on a quick little calibration here. Not trying to draft, but what do you know? I don't know if we would pick up a draft from here, though. We'll see. Crap. Yo, Ricky! Gosh. Yeah, this is a terrible... These are terrible conditions to try and practice a qualifying run in. Yeah, we're just catching draft. This is not it. So 187 is more like what we would be seeing in clean air. But yeah, so the idea, oh gosh, the idea with, let me actually turn this down just a wee bit. Okay, is that, okay, that makes sense. Alright, so the idea with the car is it's set up for the Truck Series physics versus Cup Series, and why a lot of people will run these physics instead of Cup with the Cup mod is, let me put that up. The Truck Series physics apparently, allegedly have more of a feel towards what you would have in a real life car, as far as it's a little bit forgiving when you slide around and things like that. So that's, and I was always a little bit kind of skeptical of that, and now I actually tried it. I was like, dude, there's been so many times when I've been kind of sliding and I was about to spin, and I was able to kind of have a chance to save it versus the thing just whipping around on you. So that's what kind of sold me on the Truck Series physics. And there's certain elements of it, like on the Truck Series physics, more so than the Cup Series, you can actually feel the amount of time it takes to get your tires warmed up. Oh wow, and this is when the track's clear enough to do a qualifying run. Great. But like, it takes time to warm up the tires, and if your tires don't have heat in them, you really feel that difference in the lack of grip. So that's one element now. Just like, I love how realistic that is. Yeah, this could have been our qualifying run. Gosh. I guess we'll just slow down a bit on the back stretch and try to catch a draft. So the drafting packs are going to be like at least 10 miles an hour faster than being solo, which is incredible. And you can see, like, even the speed advantage I get from leading a drafting pack is substantial. Hopefully he comes up in front of me. Come on, Clint. Like right there, we're already just up to 195. These packs can be a little bit kind of crazy to navigate, but it is what it is. Definitely going to keep on top of the temperatures of everything. It's very easy to overheat in these kinds of packs where you're tucked in behind someone and you don't necessarily realize it until, you know, you have a red light flashing at you. But the wire temps look good. Oil temps are a little bit more dangerous because, oh, you want to pass him? Come on. Okay. But oil temps are a little different because, like, it's not just, gosh, take off some tape and fix it, you know. That's actually something to do with, you know, you gotta change your gear ratios or something with that. So I would be a little bit more worried about that. One thing I was not really expecting is, like, there are points when I could definitely lose this thing. I don't know what's going to take to kind of get to handle more like the way I'm wanting it to. Alright, Newman's back up here. I think the pack got broken up with some of the guys who tucked in to the garage. So here we are, we're in a pack. A bunch of Chevys to the inside of us. So we're just getting swallowed up by this. Yeah, I gotta put wheel in it on the entry. And the problem with that is once the car settles into the corner, I've already got so much wheel in it that it wants to snap loose. Alright, we gotta get this out. Oh. That's not good. Oh, and Clint's right up here with us again. It's our teammate. I could help him out. Get in line with him and we could make some moves happen, right? Oh no, he's gone. Oh shoot, my fault. Ah. They started pitting from like the third lane, man. You can't check up from up there. Dang, okay. So yeah, these lap times are insane, dude. Definitely gotta watch out for that. Oh yeah, they're showing a Truck Series record because these are CTS physics, but wow, that fastest time is it's a good one. Is there any chance I push Michael and Ned up to this pack? Wait, is he actually that slow? Holy crap. Maybe it's just the fact that we're out of the draft. Let's go. Oh, we can start a new pack. See, I scrub off so much if I'm turning the car hard on entry. And then that kind of ruins things for our drafting. There we go, that's a lot better handled right there. Boom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna build a line right here. Gosh. Wait, is this Michael Onette's rookie season? He raced in 24. Was that just Justin Allgaier? I don't know. Yeah, we're not gonna let the 13 get it. Gonna give him a huge shove. Boom. And he hit the wall. Doesn't matter. We gotta run. Yes, sir. Come on. Hard. Push. Boom. Ah, I'm doing one of those Logano pushes. Or Kozlowski. I forget which one it was that was always... I'm pretty sure it was actually both of them. But I mean, hey. Oh, we could have gotten Jeff Gordon in our pack. Come on. Oh dang, we got an engine down. That's Harvick. Right in the middle of the track too. If Casey Mears could get on my bumper, we'd be insane with our speed around here. Alright, I'm gonna build a run. Ready? Ready? Boom. Want him. Wow, how are these not faster laps? This is insane. I guess it's because I'm just riding the top, huh? But we're definitely gonna catch these guys. Casey Mears is nowhere to be seen now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. Entering the trial. What the heck, man? We're not backing off for that. Come on. We need to catch this. 2 minutes to do it. Come on. Catching up to the pack in 2 minutes. Let's go. No. Alright, Michael. Go get him without me. Can I push him in the corner? That was dumb. Alright. Yeah, we got a minute left, so might as well practice our green flag pit entry and call it a day. What's crazy is that the qualifying setup has so much, it's like 4 miles an hour extra speed, I think. What's interesting is, after spending some time playing Grand Prix Legends and then coming back to this, Grand Prix Legends is like the game that kind of formed the basis for the engine used in NR2003, and it's so interesting how playing that game, it's road course based, you're shifting more, you're doing other kinds of things. Alex Bowman just took the lead in practice. That's great. But there's so much stuff that you do related to specifically a road course car that, coming back over to this, there's certain things that feel the same, like downshifting, the way that feels, and I'm sure that some of the road course racing is going to feel like Grand Prix Legends. And I'd never played that game before, and then kind of played it for a few days. It's a very difficult game to get the handle on, and I think that it'd probably be worse for me if I didn't have some experience with NR2003, but it's just great. It's a great game. And if I were more so into the road course deal, I'd probably be playing it a lot more. So here we go. Daytona qualifying. It's going to come down to a lot of car control and just being very smooth. You know, Dale Jr., I was watching a video where he was explaining qualifying in Talladega, and he was talking about how you want to keep that wheel smooth, and as soon as you make a mistake, don't try to overcorrect the mistake, because then you'll just end up making 2 mistakes. So obviously, first lap, or warm-up lap, out lap I should say, so when you're kind of up high, trying to build that momentum for your qualifying run, you're just wide open, smooth wheel. It's all about how much momentum can I build. Now here we go. And not turn the wheel too much. So we can actually do 187, okay. This is going to be a good lap then. I'm just holding that wheel nice and smooth. This is going to be a very interesting lap. And then just into the next corner. And the way this thing's handling, it's like, it feels like it's going to do something else. Oh, I just hit the apron. But it really does come to you, and it turns eventually. One corner entry. Third. What I'm really glad about is that I actually adjusted. I adjusted the speeds for these guys in qualifying, so it'd be more competitive with what I'm able to run. And it's kind of the difference between their default line is around the outside, and that allows for multi-line racing and stuff and closer racing, but the flip side of that is that you have to adjust the qualifying modifier in the track INI up to compensate for that, to make the AI faster in qualifying so that they can kind of compete. So that's the fastest lap I've ever run on this track in qualifying. But if I ran the same lap that I ran the first time, I'd probably be last. So I think it's a really good adjustment as far as it kind of puts me in the middle of the pack here and really having to compete instead of just kind of having things kind of, you know, easy, straightforward. And even this, I'm not going to be able to. Let me check the better cautions settings here. I'll just drag this window over so that's able to be visible. Not racing back to cautions. It's going to freeze the field. Lap cars will be sent to the back. Double file restarts. And then the green white checkers one, I'm not going to check that until we're actually running laps in the race, because apparently there's some kind of error where the race will never start if I turn it on now. But yeah. But typically on these kind of tracks in this game, you can just run the bottom and get to the front. But the thing is, by default, everybody's going to be in the top lane, so you're not going to have drafting help. So that adds another layer of complexity to it, to where you can't just run this one strategy and think you're going to get away with that. So field window's more like 15 laps. I don't know why it's saying 21. It's going to be 15 laps on fuel. That's going to make things interesting for pit stops and where cautions fall. So on average, we'd be pitting around 13 laps each time. But if we wanted to split into 3 equal runs, or you pit on lap 10 and then 25 and then 40. So there's different ways to break it up, but I feel like there might be enough cautions in this race to kind of account for that. So just kind of pacing up here, and definitely going to be an interesting race. Let me change something a little bit here. I definitely don't want that to be so loud. Let's just tune that down just a little bit. Okay. But yeah, 40 laps at Daytona. We're going to have at least 2 pit stops, starting third. So this one's just going to come down to staying in his thing and staying up front, staying in the hunt. I think things are going to get kind of crazy early on, so I don't know if I want to drop to the back at some point, or at least to the back of the lead draft when that forms up. We'll see. Here we go. Just gonna fall in line here with Tony. Of course, there's a bunch of Hendrick cars up front at Daytona. Qualifying up front here. That's typical. And I think we might lead a lap here and get those bonus points. We'll see. But it's going to be tough. Leading here is such a tough thing, I'm telling you. Like, the amount of blocking that's involved is irresponsible. I'll say that much. Whoa. Yeah, like that. And every time I throw a block, it feels like it's going to be the one that's going to end the race. So, let me just get my 5 bonus points. Okay. After that, I don't want to die, so, you know. I'll just take what I can get. This is where you start doing mirror driving. I'm basically not even looking in front of me, I'm just watching the mirror. Tapping the brake just a little bit to make sure I'm not getting too far ahead of this pack. Oh crap. Kevin Harvick's got a run on the bottom. I don't know how much help he has behind him though. That's kind of the advantage of having a real life spotter. They can kind of tell you how many cars are helping whoever's going to make a run, so I'm really just operating off of what I'm seeing and hopefully making the right move. Yeah, clearly this game does not care about the double yellow line, which is, I'm all for that. I feel like if you get enough of a glitch with it, it could probably cause some controversial issues, so. Kyle's gonna get us. I had so much trust that the 4 had a good line of cars behind him. Oh, maybe so. Wait, keep pushing, keep pushing. We're 3 wide, I think. But I just need a good run from these guys. And the outside line's dying, of course. Great. Yeah, once we lose control of this race, that's when I start doubting if I even want to be up here. Yeah, I don't like this, I like lap 5. It's kind of wild for me, you know. Things happen too quick here to be doing this. Actually insane. Our teammates back here. Clint, gosh. Wire jump still looks a little high. I don't know. Yeah, I hate this. Like, I'd be feeling better if we were on the bottom, because that way, if something happens, you can kind of just scoot to the apron, but this is ridiculous. It's like, what are you going to do down here? Save some fuel? You can't really be on the throttle, or... Gosh, man! Got hit. Come on, man. This is great. It looked like he got turned or something right in front of me. Like, it's not that he got turned, but it's like he drifted off the track like he was not in control. And he happened to just slide up into where I was, and we were already 3 wide. Yeah, I can't even hit 4th gear. This is depressing. Should be closed, right? Yeah, pit road's closed. They're gonna wait for us to get caught up, I guess. But yeah, we're definitely getting 4 tires, and actually, let's get 2. I know it's gonna take it long enough that it might take like 2 stops for us. So. I think we just died. This is crazy. I think there's like only one way to make this work. Maybe. No, if we had been in the pacing line, we would have been good. But yeah, the good thing is the tow from here is not the end of the world. So we're gonna get a tow truck. It's gonna take them 2 minutes to make a lap. So. Anyway, taking a look at this crash. Yeah, he was down on the apron. All the way down. What was he doing? So we're in it, the 95's in it. I didn't think we had taken that hard of a hit. But some kind of way we lost an engine on that. And look at this, I'm just not even all the way on the throttle. Boom. Yeah, I hit the wall. Nose into the wall. And the next time I hit after that. Okay. Clip by Dale Jr. Yeah, I don't think that's that bad of damage. They should be able to fix it. Dang, man. Freaking lap 10, man. I don't even think it looked that bad, did it? Yeah, no, I'm wrecking this guy at Phoenix. It's not even. No. Eric Romola splitting the lap car junior 3 wide to the middle. White flag in the air. A strategy call here for the 16, putting them out front, but will it actually pay off? Almirola is down there. He's on the bottom. He's got a little bit of help, but it might not be enough. Coming around to the line. Looks like coming to the line is all Trevor Bayne to the line. He's going to win Daytona for the second time in his career, and boy, you gotta think about the implications of that. Truex, a lap car here, who very much had an opportunity. The race was in his hand and then taken out by some very janky circumstances. But that doesn't take away from what Trevor Bayne's accomplished here. You gotta think that in his real life Cup career, if he had won a second Daytona 500, that would have, first of all, how would it have impacted Roush, which was considered to be in decline at this point? What difference would a Daytona 500 win make for them? A team that at this point was really starting to struggle big time. And we have to wait until a completely different roster before they start winning races again with Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski. You got Jimmy Johnson up here. That seems like a foreshadowing of what this season is going to be like. What I don't love is the fact that we're getting started out worst in the field. Oh man. Last at Daytona in the 500. That's not fun. But it is what we got to deal with. So anyway, point standings look like this. Trevor Bayne does not get bonus points for leading the most laps because he did not lead the most laps here. So he gets only a 5-point advantage over Jimmy Johnson. So really the point standings here just reflect, the finishing order, basically. Unless you let some laps and things like Eric Rommel and Clint Boyer tied because Clint Boyer led laps. In fact, he led a lot of laps here in this event. Same thing for Kyle Busch. It puts him tied with Paul Menard and effectively in the top 5 in points. Casey Kane off to a good start here, but we'll see. It's one race, and it really comes down to how do you keep this momentum up throughout the season. So next up is going to be Atlanta. It's not going to be this version of Atlanta, which is the old one. We're going to pop out a new Atlanta, and Atlanta is always a favorite track of mine because in NR2003, it's just one of those tracks where you just get a feel for how the car drives on this track. Just, not just you paying attention to the track as much as the car, how it handles, and all that stuff. It's a very straightforward track, kind of wide open. You're kind of doing things to get to the corner, but for the most part, you're going to feel the handling and stuff. It's just really just your basic NASCAR track. So, looking forward to that.